You made your baklava and it was delicious. Now what do you do with all the extra phyllo? I know, we're gonna make another dish. Yeah!
Beef, Roma, tomatoes, lasagna in my cooking class.
For lack of a better name, I named this dish Filo Yum, because it involves phyllo dough and it is yummy. I got these beautiful babies at the farmer's market. Carrots and other root vegetables are in season now that it is winter time. Got them with the top still on so you can see how beautiful they are. Look at these cute shaped ones. Ah! Look how cute you are! These actually make a pretty decent vegetable broth if combined with some onion and some other little vegetables. Here I go, walking to work. These carrots and everything else in this dish we want in very small cubes. Cut the tops off. And I like to kind of stand it up and make some slices. I'm going to take these little flat pieces and cut them into matchsticks. Line up the rest of the matchsticks and cut them into little cubes. Next we add the mushrooms. These are king oyster mushrooms, which I get at a local international market. We also want these in little cubes. Cut off the little bottom parts. I also similarly diced very finely a small onion, and I pulverized 3 very large cloves of garlic. So this is all the vegetable matter that's going to go into our large non-stick skillet. It will cook down to a much smaller consistency. So I have my pan on medium-high heat. You want to add some fat to the pan. Today the fat is going to be goose fat. I'm going to do like a very generous tablespoon. Now we don't necessarily want a lot of browning to take place, so it's okay to add the vegetables at the beginning when it's not very well. Add the onions first, salt them. The other spice we're going to use in here is red pepper flake. You can add a bunch of other spices if you want, but I like to keep it simple. Fresh thyme would be really nice. After the onions are starting to get a little translucent, it's time to add some more vegetables. Don't forget the garlic. Add more salt. At this point, it's a good idea to lower the heat a little bit and put the lid on. After about 10 minutes, this is what your mixture looks like. It's still not reduced enough yet at this point. We're starting to pick up a little color on it now, which is actually okay. The vegetables have reduced significantly. This is where you want to saute it uncovered and let a lot of that moisture evaporate off and let your vegetables brown just a little bit. So it's about to my desired consistency, so I turn it off, let it stand in the pan. Time to make the phyllo sheets. I have about a stick of melted butter and those leftover phyllo sheets from the baklava. Now you've already seen the process with the baklava. It's pretty much the same story. Sheet of phyllo, spread the butter evenly on it. It's like painting a picture. And you're going to repeat this process with about 3 or 4 more sheets. Alright, then we get the filling that we made. You can make this filling ahead of time if you want, but it's nice to have it warm when you're doing this because then it just quickens the cooking process. So you want to lay a nice little row of filling, using about half of it. Then what you want to do is fold in the ends. And then, starting on this end, tuck in the filling. It's kind of messy, but that's the charm. And you just roll it up, like a cigar. As I'm sure we all have done at some point in our lives. Your finished sheet, you also want to cover with some butter. And now repeat the same thing with 4 more sheets and the other half of the filling. So just like with the baklava, we want to pre-cut this before we put it in the oven because it's impossible to cut after it's been baked. So I like to cut nice little diagonal marks going through the top layer of the phyllo dough only, not the bottom. Pop these babies into a 400-degree oven for some minutes, until they're done and brown and crackly and yummy. And behold their warm, brown, crackly, steamy goodness.